Ladies and gentlemen, this venue, Bird and Beckett, is the love child of Eric Whittington. That's Eric right there. Love child, is that okay to say? And
Yeah, thank you for coming. So, Bill Noertker, Noertker's Moxie, and the brand new,
Eric Whittington.
brand new CD. Look at that from Edgestone Records.
Inspired by Samuel Beckett
Here. Inspired by. Yeah,
and this
indeed.
bookstore.
Those are the right things to buy.
I think I remember that gig too.
Yeah.
Didn't you make him go get a book to look up a poem?
Oh, that was
Beckett
Wallace
poem?
Stevens, yeah. Then it turns out to be it was 7 words.
Yeah, right. He needed those 7 words though. I
All right.
remember that. That was
Everybody comes to Bird and Beckett. It's very literary. Yeah. Okay, so you all comfortable? All right. Yeah, there will be at least a pitcher of water on the back counter. And
no snack service.
no snack service. You know, the in-flight.
It's for a fee, yeah.
All right.
Right.
Yeah, I'll bring a cup. I got a brown pitcher and some glasses. Okay, so I'll let you introduce the band and
Okay.
introduce the project when you're good and ready. Don't do it before you're good and ready. But we're very pleased to present Noertker's Moxie. Thank you for coming.
Great. Well, we're always happy to be here. We thank you all for coming out. I'd like to thank especially Rent Romas for coming out.
You're very welcome.
It's been a joy to work with Rent since the '90s on various things, and you know I was playing a lot of cover I played a lot of weird music, and then in the '90s I was trying to not have a day job, so I was playing in a lot of cover bands, and a couple of things conspired to make me think that I was unfeasible. Amongst them was Rent Romas.
What?
So anyway, so that's what I got to say. Anyway, I should.
Help you make you unfeasible.
I'm still unsuitable for work, but we're going to play all 49 tunes that are on that record in just a moment. But first off, a friend of ours, their birthday is next Thursday, and I'm not going to mention that person's name because they're shy, and I want to respect their privacy. But we're going to play a little tune in their honor now. 2 bars. 1, 2, 3. You know who you are. All right, great. So now we're going to proceed to this Beck business. So I could tell you a bunch of stories about it, but I think maybe we'll just start playing some stuff. So there's a whole bunch of tunes, many tunes, and they're very short. So we're going to play a bunch of them in a row. So think like you're at the symphony, and if you were going to clap after every tune, but maybe you're not going to ever clap because you think, what the hell was he thinking?
That's what I've been thinking of the last month.
For the month. No, since the 90s when you rescued me from. Anyway.
Are you saying they shouldn't clap after every tune?
Yes, we're going to play a whole slew of tunes,
There's 49.
and then
49.
we're going to play about 7 or 8 tunes, and then then I'll discuss them,
No worries.
or we'll allow you time to make your exit.
Excellent.
Good call.
2 bars of 3, 4.
I'll put the spotlight on it.
We know.
2 bars of 3/4. 1, 2, 2, 2. One bar. One, two, three, two bars. One, two, take a little pause there. All right. Should I say anything about the music or anything?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so
What are the names of all those pieces that we just heard?
let me read off this list here. So, what's going on here is during the COVID pandemic, suddenly I did everything online. I taught people online. Everything was online. You know, amongst the things that happened was I got a free DAW Ableton recording software, and I started messing around with MIDI generated stuff and making weird little loops because that's how I felt. That's often how I feel, though. And then that was fine, but it seemed like, well, sooner or later this is all going to end, and I'm going to be able to play with human beings again. God, wouldn't that be great? You realize you've been taking for granted human beings, you know? And then suddenly they're not there, and you're like, oh my God. So anyway, so then I started using the same software to generate this stuff for piano, flute, clarinet, and I started writing drum parts, and that's where we got into some tricky areas for various drummers. More on that in a second. Yeah, so while I was doing that, I was reading this book, Watt, that I've read 3 or 4 times, 5 times. It makes no sense. It's by Samuel Beckett, so it makes that kind of sense. You know, it's Samuel Beckett. So, but he wrote it when he was on the run. He'd moved to France, and immediately it became occupied by the Nazis, and he was on the run, and he was kind of part of the resistance and reporting their movements and going nuts and writing these little weird repetitious things. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's what I'm doing, you know, except I'm not on the run. In fact, I'm quite the opposite, right? So I'm not saying that I'm Samuel Beckett. I'm just Bill Noertker. I'm Bill Noertker. Right. So I started writing this stuff, and then I started getting feedback from people about, well, what about this music? You know, is this playable? Does it make any sense? And so Brett has been one of my big supporters, and he's like, yeah, but if you wrote it this way, boy, that would be easier to read. And Zamula, who taught me how to write, you know, got to play the clarinet, which is a bear of an instrument. I think they have various nicknames like the misery stick, agony pipe, stuff like that, you know, it's notoriously fucked up instrument. Temperamental, pardon my language.
Yeah.
Yes, it's temperamental. You know, as Kalman Opperman, who is maybe the world's best known pedagogue of the clarinet, said, everyone finds a way to destroy themselves. Some people choose the clarinet. Right, so ask clarinet players, and you'll find out that's true. Anyone, like, you know. Anyway, so then I wrote also drum parts for people, which that was a whole thing in itself, because I've never actually written for drums. Usually I just write lead sheets, we play the melodies, and then we make up stuff, right? So we have a drummer on the record, Jordan. So this, I'd like to just say, embarrass this man here, Eli Knowles. Just step in and learn this shit in like 2 months or something. Unfucking believable. Because the rest of us have been playing this stuff for like a year and a year or more. So I can't even fathom how a person could do that.
He's a monster.
So, and thanks again to Rent for introducing me to Eli. So, my hat's already off, but I'll take it off, my imaginary hat. Anyway, so those tunes were The Long Greens and Yellows, Hunchy Hackett, I Am Scarcely the Outer World, Not Sure That It Was Not a Parcel, There Were Connoisseurs, Preferred to Have His Back to His Destination, Watts Was a Funambulistic Stagger, and The Science of the Locked Door. And if you want to know more about anything about that, what you'd like to do is purchase a copy of the book Watt from a bookstore named Bird and Beckett. I strongly encourage you to do that. But if you want a conventional narrative shape, I don't want to, you know, I'm not liable for that. Okay, we're going to continue on with some more tunes. Another big clump of tunes. That was the first half of the first chapter, Epithalamium. We're just going to play the tunes. I'm going to shut up. I'm not trying to pad the set. No, I'm just trying to relax. me put it back here.
Mm.
Now, we also have a comedy routine. Yeah, Eric, good. 2 bars. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Great. So that was the end of the first chapter of music. I'll tell you the tunes, but maybe it's worth noting that among the techniques I used to compose the piece was a tone row. I don't know if you know what a tone row is. You play, of the 12 notes available in the flawed Western system, you play one and you can't play it again until you play the other 11. In this last tune, actually, I stacked them together. So anyway, so a lot of these pieces have that. Then there's other things like there's some palindromes. There's all kinds of foolish stuff. I can't even remember all of that stuff that I was doing to create it. Anyway, the names of those tunes, from most recent to the first one, that was the last one's All the Gold and White and Blue. This is when Watt finally arrives at Knott's house. So the story's about this cat, Watt. And Watt goes to this mansion where he takes care of this guy Knott. But Beckett, you see, there's all these double T's. Anyway, the thing is, he's always influenced by what Knott wants, but he actually never encounters Mr. Knott, except maybe once at the end, but maybe he was delusional. So the whole story is about he gets there and he's one of the caretakers of the house, and he figures out, okay, this is what's happening, and then some new event will enter the situation, and everything go, and then he'll spend another 8 to 10 to 15 pages trying to figure out how do you cope with this new information. He'll finally get it squared away and feel back at comfortable, and then a new piece of information. So it goes on and on like this. The whole book is him becoming calm and then once again getting disturbed. Anyway, so the last piece is a moment where he actually was briefly at rest. I don't know, is it worth naming all these tunes? Yeah. Okay, that was All the Gold and Blue. It's number 16 on the CD that's available. Actually, if you purchase the CD, then you can just open the liner notes and follow along with the names of the songs as they happen. We'll take a moment for you to do that. Number 15, Figments of the Id. Number 14, Onions and Peppermints Turn and Turn About. Number 13, that spooky one, that one, Modes of Ululation. 3 modes of ululation. Do you know what ululation is? Do we know what ululation is? Can anyone ululate here? There you go. That's there. So the 3 modes of ululation, according to Watt, are bitter, hollow, and mirthless. It's a happy tale.
Cheery guy, huh?
Number 12 is The Laurel into Daphne. Daphne got turned into a laurel, but here possibly back to being Daphne. Premonitions of Harmony are irrefragable. And he sits in the red gloom and a fine full apron of green baize. All right. Thanks. I'm glad to see you all. This is really, I'm enjoying this. When I began this scenario, I thought there's no way in hell anyone could even play these in the studio with multiple takes. But that proved to be incorrect. And so then I thought, okay, well, maybe we could play it live. And so far, we're 16 into 49, and it's going in my opinion, pretty well.
And that's a tall.
If you have different ideas about that, keep it to yourself. All right, so that's the end of the first chapter. The second chapter, which may be actually chronologically the first thing that happens, I've called Galileo's Cradle. And Galileo's Cradle, according to Beckett, is that thing where they have the pendulum, it goes doing, doing. You have a ball in the middle, and you have two other ones, and they go back and forth, and the one in the middle seemingly doesn't move, but it contains the energy that makes the other one go out and come back and hit that thing and go the other way. So there's this illusion of stasis, and yet. All right. So one of the big episodes is when the piano tuners come, and that really throws Watt for about a 30-page loop. So immortalized here in this song, "Tune the Piano." Tune the piano. We've come to tune the piano. This is Irish dialect, I believe. Maybe there's Irish people that would like to set me straight about my pronunciation. Keep it to yourself. So we're going to play another seven songs or so, and then maybe we'll take a little breather. They're half notes. These are half notes. 1, 2 bars. 1, 2, 1, 2. Brad's going to count this one.
Those are half notes, and
Yeah.
counting 124 notes.
Take two.
1 and 2 and 3.
One, yeah. 2 bars. 1, 2, 3. That was the stairs that never seemed the same stairs. See how? All right. Oh, here's the mic. Hey, everyone. Thanks for coming out. That was the first half of the second chapter. We got chewing the piano, a Ravana strawn hung on the wall from a nail like a plover. The strings are in flitters, from which came the title of the CD, because let me tell you about the Beckett estate. The Beckett estate, for words, they're okay, but for plays, they make it so difficult to stage a play. If you change one little tiny thing about the play, they're all over you. They want you to, they sue you to stop and stuff like this, to the point where it's like, if you'll note, hardly anyone are staging Beckett plays, possibly for this reason. That's the Beckett estate. Anyway, so I decided not to mention Beckett's name, except obliquely on that CD over there. Here we go. Where are we? The simple games that time plays with space. This hairbreadth departure. A little plated trowel that Not eats with, but we never see him eat. The stairs that never seemed the same stairs. And a pillow of old words for a head. All right, we'd like to take a little break here. Maybe cool off a little bit. Maybe you want to cool off a little bit. Chill out, as they say. Thank you. It's so great to see everyone here. I really, really appreciate you coming. We got a whole bunch of more music in a similar vein.
back on. It was. I heard a cue. I heard a cue that I recognized, and I was like, oh, just I heard the cue to go back and repeat. Thank God, because I was.
Not bad. Only about 3 counting shenanigans in 2014. That's not bad.
Oh my God, yeah, it's funny too, because I remember the first time I said that to you guys were like, this one's hard.
I'm hawking them for 15. Yeah, you know, put a lot of work into it. Well, I know usually go 10 at the gigs. This one is pretty extreme.
You have like a most thing? Me?
Oh,
Because I just paint gates and 20 to the beginning, but I didn't do more.
no, you PayPal me. You take one at PayPal. Is my email address?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that'd be great. I'd like to hear it. Bill? Lovely to see you.
Two, man. One time.
That's my friend Carson. She plays flute very beautifully.
Pauline said hi. She said give Bill a hug.
Oh yeah, really? I didn't know you could sing.
Sing. Played every day. She's something else. But anyway, we'll stay in touch. I'll see you later. Oh, sure. No, I mean, there's not that much to do, you know. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Tom, he came to my studio and I gave him feedback on some of the mix-ups that need a little work, but he was great, he's very open. I mean, the classic things that he, that always happen. Yeah, the classic things in the lower beach that are always a problem for kind of guys who don't have that much to see.
You're all glad that's terrible. Definitely a good part.
Yes, sir.
If you were lucky enough.
I could have just held out and made like 40 CDs of it.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
The story seems so apocryphal.
Like a little stress. Just a little. For good damn reason. This whole week's been like a railroad for you. To get really well. Trains going by for
Hard attack. Hard fight.
Hey, sounding great, yeah. And yeah, I was
I was sounding good.
Yeah, I know. Same problem. I had the same problem for a whole bit.
I just lifted them from here.
Did you? Oh, they're really great. But I always feel like I'm hearing music, like my mind that's like a little air in there, yeah. But yeah, that what you said in the beginning about it. You know, I can sort of as soon as you change it, you're kind of like stopping and starting. It's this feeling of energy getting stuck and like, what am I supposed to do? Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing about what the character in the story is about.
I think so. I mean,
Needs to know everything.
Oh.
And what happens with that is it's silent.
I love it. That is
I'm not
so,
thinking
I
about
mean, really.
I mean, it's a fiction. Based on this.
Is it readable?
Yeah, we gotta
I know. I mean, it is. And you got to like to a point. It's like, well, you did the double process. That was fun. It's like you get these stuck on these little details and start creating them into like symbols. Oh, really?
he loves this song.
Oh, really?
But there's, you know, it's not, there's no converting. It's just a bunch of exercises he's getting used on the button. Kind of fashion.
I'm passing them on to you because you're going on.
Because
Go
they-
to septic.
well, the publishers took like,
I don't know why. It's just like I've been hearing.
Even after we had that.
Grove,
That's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Grove
So.
pushes them out.
Now, when you
Their
contacted
attention
them.
in Grove. He didn't respond. Actually, their wife did, because they didn't respond.
Did you contact the estate to tell them when we
Well, this is the thing. You have to go to a publisher, American publisher, and then they go to exchange.
Yes, I do have a brother.
So I don't know what that means, you know. Sure, I know. It's some other person. It's not Beckett, it's Bucket.
But he's actually
Excuse me, but thank you.
Sure.
alive and well.
So you had an interesting COVID time.
Yeah, that's right.
You do.
Oh,
Congratulations.
You know, families are. There's a lot of hoops to get out there.
I had a blast. I had a blast. It was so cool.
This is Richard, this is Isaac.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, well, I guess now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know. See, where you understand too.
This is what,
You know what I'm talking
the
about.
very next week, I go down.
You went to get the books.
I want to go in the park, so this thing in the park, you know, close to traffic on JFK. Right, but when we were walking the park, she was like, why don't they fence this thing off the street, because there's a bunch of chairs, right? And so they created a beer garden, so we had all this shit, entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
entrepreneurs, my ass, all this stuff, right? Get a load of this after, we walked in there, right? The next week, the beer garden was closed. Once you get a little, you feel like delusions of grandeur.
That was awesome.
So, maybe it was something else. I don't like that story.
It could have been, but
I don't like that story.
it could have been the end of summer, but no.
Right, because they did, you know, they've removed the Ferris wheel also.
Wait, really?
Just today I walked by.
Although I understand.
That's something you can just.
I guess, I mean,
Just weird one day.
Yeah.
The first week that of COVID, I wasn't working, I was walking in the park a lot more. And all of a sudden, oh, what's all this stuff? And it was, they're in pieces for a long time before they put it together.
but now it's gone.
Oh, good.
I was just kind of wondering.
This week, it wasn't popular amongst Mike from. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're so kind of like, I don't know what that means. The park,
Oh, I
it's a
saw
park.
your listening.
Wait, is that a
Unfortunately, I'm presenting a special
is that for
Oh, that could be. Huh.
Oh, it's a
Wow. Boy, the cultural reference is good. Right? It's great. Wow. Let's see. Do you need No.
So it's paid at least.
Did you have the time?
Wow.
8:31.
Oh,
I like the full tune. The full.
oh crap.
Yeah. On the other hand,
But you posted something about it though today. Was it his
request
post?
jam out.
Somebody posted something about you playing on Thursday.
We'll see.
I'm not making that up. I saw it online. Yeah. I know. Because I thought, oh, I can't go to this because I'm getting luggage.
What,
Well, okay then, never mind.
what possessed you to come here? Ah, good.
In the back.
You and Annelise all get together sometimes, yes?
No.
That must be like nuclear if it's hard for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody's going on tours around.
When he gets back.
You're so each generation.
Maybe she thinks you're a fan.
I find it cracking music like many years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, how funny. That's great that you kept it.
I'm like,
There were 2 cows actually.
I love this.
3, 2.
We're organic, it's all right.
Oh, is it a photograph that I made?
No.
Good day. Good job.
But like, if you have some pianists, like those are the memorable parts of the show. Like I've seen the pianist, Robert Tom.
It's a good place, a really good place to come for card or, for
I just started reading Beckett now.
I know, right?
It's like, I know.
That's so good.
Pull you back in. Oh, well, maybe he was
Different.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we're gonna fix that, then we'll bring it to the clock.
Yeah, there's really no.
Yeah, so that's.
All right, don't worry, but you know, we what?
So you guys have been playing for years?
I would just
We've been playing, oh, he was saying we've been working on the music. Wow. Yeah, I mean, off and on, not
Yeah,
like constantly.
Yeah. Annelise has been playing with Bill for like 40 years.
Since the 80s, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
That is great.
Go way back.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Oh, yeah, well,
I
Beckett.
mean, but I kind of want them to reach out and like, oh,
Yeah, I can totally see that, especially some, you have some of them that are really hard. Yeah, it is really Yeah, I was saying we go to one of
took my niece here one time. Yeah. So I just thought she
I wrote a piece for Shannon, and I really wanted to play it.
She's doing this crazy thing. She's kind of crafty. And she, how does she know?
Well, he didn't, I remember that.
She likes to
I don't remember what he did on that, but that was
started making one.
Well, having a cigar was like,
Where do you want to?
what's kind of pattern to it that I actually
Maybe even did it. 1995. Yeah, Carson. And then I'll tell you it right now.
So what are you doing? I know you told me last time, but I only see you when it's fine. Don't you think we should play pretty soon?
Yeah, of course.
Get people's attention.
This is her daughter, yeah.
Yeah.
And she's a engineer, like she does this whole thing. She has a real job, but she likes to make things. Yeah, yeah.
Left my horn. Oh shit. Oh yeah, you're straight from Vic, right?
Yeah.
But she got into
Alright.
Really? Is that one of the snaps?
Was anchor steam?
Yeah.
Really?
I know, I was like,
You gotta hoard it.
that's what I said, man. I was like, yep.
You better buy like 35
Thank,
of them right
thank
now.
Eric.
What's that?
I said we should thank Eric.
Made me a little emotional to see Anchor Steam.
And yellow bubbles out.
I used to drink Anchor Steam, you know?
Me too.
I got tired of it. And then when they discontinued it, I was
I
like,
drank it before Sapporo bought it.
yeah.
We just have to tell Eric maybe.
Yeah,
next week.
they bought it. I like Sapporo too, so it's like, yeah. I don't know. That's like, I'll get like a tall boy and walk around with Sapporo.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, Eric.
Now it's time for the faithful hour.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, let's.
We do fanfare. It worked.
Excellent. Hey. Hello. Is the mic on? Can you hear me? Hello. How many people did we lose? Raise your hand if you left. No one.
Come back.
No one left. That's great. Also, I guess if anyone else has a birthday and they don't, yeah, we could play it again, but we're not gonna. We're gonna launch right back into this stuff. That's it. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for buying us all meals for a week or two. Appreciate your purchase of the CD. All right. So what are we gonna do here? We're gonna do these here tunes. A Little Off the Hooks. A Picture Hanging on the Wall from a Nail. The Circle Sailed Steadfast in Its White Skies with Its Patient Breach Forever Below. You can see that on the cover there. Like the Centuries That Fall from the Pod of Eternity. 10th Rate Xenium. And a fragment of Rigmarole reread. That's our next
Say that quickly.
portion.
Nice alliteration.
Weird.
Give her that. One bar. 1, 2, 3.
proceed, instead of pausing, into the last half of the chapter 2. 2 bars. 1, 2, this long chain of consistence. This one's the 3 frogs. I can't count it. 2 R's. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Eli.
In case you're wondering about the frogs' names, they're Craic, Craic, and Craic.
It's about the same tempo. 1, 2 R's. 1, 2, 2. text makes sense. Let's read it. Let's read it to y'all. That's Brett Carson on the piano. Let's give it up. Annelise Zamula on the woodwinds. Eli Knowles on the drums. All right.
It's Bill Noertker on bass and composition.
That last song, Red, Bluer, Yellowest. That old dream was ended, half ended, ended, again, a little before morning.
It ends 3 times.
Yes. So, yeah. That was a coincidence.
Was it really?
No.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. That's the end of the second chapter. The second chapter is a big, long chapter, and that gives you an idea of just the kind of narrative style, so-called narrative style you can expect from Beckett. Now, the third chapter, which may or may come forth, he's actually it's related by a person who identifies themselves as Samuel, who may be Beckett, but maybe not, and may be reliable and maybe not. And he meets Watt in the asylum. So Watt's thing is that he wants to know everything and how everything works, and that's where it landed him. Not the greatest idea. So lay off those search engines. All right. So this one's we'll play all these two. I think we're gonna make it out of your. If you can bear with it, we're gonna play all these tunes.
Damn Skippy.
That's my agent.
Let's get to work now. Let's go.
In our windowlessness, in our blood heat, in our hush. One bar 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, you know, you could buy the music books. I made up these music books. The scores, the individual parts. That's pretty cool. And also the enormous Noertker songbook, 366 pages. I'm hawking that too.
How much?
Oh, these I think we'll haggle. We'll haggle. This is through this jocose, this sniggering muck. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. one's titled Except in Moments of Delirium or During the Service of the Mass. Bar 4 and a bar 6.
Wait, what'd you say? Bar 4 to bar 6?
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. has this is the whole sequence where he elaborates if there's like 10 people at a table, how long it will take for each of them to make contact with each of them. It's like 8 pages of it. It's Brett's favorite part. It is some foolish shit. I'm telling you. Pardon my language.
Too much time on his hands.
Well, being on the run and everything, that'll do it to you. That's chapter 3. As you can see, gets in pretty intense there. You get the combs? Aha. So, yeah. I'll count 4, even though I thought no one playing 4.
How many more I thought?
one bar four. That's a good question. 1, 2, 3, 4. The fricatives in particular were pleasing. The gray air, a swirl with vain entelechies. Don't ask. One, two, three, four. In his skull, the voices, whispering their canon, were like a patter of mice. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Watt was an old rose now, and indifferent to the gardener. Thank you so very much. I'd like, yeah, I can't, man, this project's taken me like a couple of years.
He's a little bit tired.
No, I'm overcome emotionally. That's Brett Carson. This is Annelise Zamula. An unbelievably great job by Eli Knowles. What's that? Yeah. Yeah.
Bill
Tha-
Noertker, Bill
tha-
Noertker.
Oh, Bill Noertker.
I really, really appreciate you coming out and supporting us and supporting Bird and Beckett, which please support Bird and Beckett at every opportunity. Can someone tell me what time it is now?
Yeah, it's 9:26.
Oh. Okay.
For flight bombing.
Well, I guess
Yeah.
I guess we're not going to play anything else. I think that's a sufficient amount of music for me personally. You know, if that's no good, you could buy Alex's album. It's got 9 songs on it, right?
That's right.
Anyway, thank you so much for coming out. I hope you enjoyed it. And, Eric, would you like to say anything?
Oh, I'd just like to say thank you. That was wonderful. Nice of you to do a Beckett thing, Bird and Beckett. Thank you so much.
I should thank Eric, you know, a lot.
You did.
Yes, yes.
You already did.
But again and again.
You're welcome.
'Cause
Thank
thi-
you all for turning out. We've had a lot of rooms with 3 and 7 people in them. It's really nice. The last 2 days, a full room for every show. That's pretty amazing.
And next
So
week's
keep
gonna be a
coming
great
out.
show. Next week is
Next
Paul
week's a big
Evangelista
show.
gonna be here.
Yeah, Eric, you want to tell them what's happening next week?
Yeah. Oh, Andy, you want to do it?
Well, no, I said
Oh,
Paul
yeah.
Evangelista is gonna be here with
Trevor Watts. Yeah,
Right.
Trevor Watts, man.
and Alexander Hawkins. He's 2
That's-
London, 3 London musicians, and Lisa's gonna play bass, of course. So it's gonna be a great show.
Lisa
Come out.
Mascapa.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lisa Mezzacapa. Yep.
Yeah. It's
All
going to
right.
be very big fun. So try to come out. Carl's been doing this project for a couple of years, working first with Louis Mahola, right?
That's
Correct.
right.
So
yeah.
it
we
kinda
all
springs
connected
out of
in
that.
London on his project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
great.
Yeah. So this is Saturday night, 7:30. But lots of fun all the time. Tomorrow jam session at 5 o'clock. Vince
Urban
runs that. Oh, that's a student combo opening it from Urban High.
Urban High.
Scott Foster's students over to Urban, their bebop combo. And then it goes into a jam session that's really pitched to the student musicians, but anybody can come and give their wise counsel.
Since we're all students.
And then more next week. Thank you all for being here.